Hello there everyone, Lars here with some special writing advice brought to you by Camille's Harem. Not just a podcast for novice writers by novice writers, but also a YouTube channel by novice writers for novice writers. Because writing is an adventure, it's more fun with friends. And is it just me, or is it that a lot of stories recently have really been pushing a ship or two? I mean, once again, it might just be me, but I'm just thinking about how in the Owl House, we've got Amity and Luz really getting pushed. Amphibia made a reference to Dipsifica. And for crying out loud, Horikoshi in My Hero Academia dedicated 2 whole pages to Kirishima and Ashido. What on earth is going on here? It just, wherever I look in fantasy and in media right now, I see ship. I see all these different couples coming together. It makes me wonder, is Valentine's Day coming early? Did I miss a memo or something? But if there's one thing I do know, it is this. It is that fans love their ships. They love taking fictional characters and mushing them together into relationships. But it's not just the fans, it's also the writers. And in fact, writers know that fans love this kind of stuff and love to play into it. I was at a special get-together with a bunch of other younger writers, and I was pitching one of my stories to them. And I was describing the crazy world building, the over-the-top plot, the incredible magic system, all of this other stuff. And of course, I talked about my characters, and by the end of my pitch, they were all like, so, do the main characters get together? What about my amazing world? Well, that's just the way that it goes. Shipping comes first. Ship for life. Well, here's the thing. We at Camille's Harem, we've talked about shipping a whole lot. We have a couple of episodes here on the channel dedicated to it. In fact, we also talk about it over at our podcast. And there's an episode that we recently did that I feel like I should share with you guys. For one thing, it's not fun when it's just Lars from Camille's Harem giving all of these episodes. It's nice to see that more of the Harem are coming on out with doing book reviews and stuff like that. But I want to give you guys a chance to hear from other members within the Harem. Also, it is an episode that all of us really enjoyed making. I'm going to play a portion of it for you guys. It is our 10 Commandments of Shipping. And if you like what you hear, then by all means check out the description below. You will find a link to the full episode. So without any further ado, let's get right into this episode. The 10 Commandments of Shipping.
Welcome to season 3.
So
we're back
today's
at it.
episode looks like we're going to be talking about our rules for shipping.
Yeah, our 10 rules of shipping. We kind of came up with this, the 10 commandments.
Upon us. Yes.
By the shipping gods.
By the shipping gods.
I guess I'll start off with the first rule. And this... Never mind. I was going to say this rule is important, but they're all important rules. So rule number 1, chemistry is key. Rule number 1, chemistry is... Hey, I found my headphones. They're in my pocket.
He was looking for them everywhere earlier.
I was like, where the hell are they? They were in my pocket the whole time. Rule number 1, chemistry is key. I mean, pretty obviously, if your characters don't have any chemistry, then what's the point of even shipping them in the first place?
Yeah, it's hard to put people together who are just so polarly opposite.
Oh, shit.
Or just even worse. I mean, just very different people. I mean, sometimes can have chemistry, but it's how they play off of each other. If they can't play off of each other at all, I don't see it.
Yeah. Yeah. And if they don't play off of each other, and this very much comes into rule number 2, then like if they don't play off of each other, then you need to show us why they should, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So,
rule number 2, all ships are garbage until proven otherwise.
Yeah.
Hallelujah. This right here is such an important one because, not everyone agrees on what ship is best. And so you know what? Rather than slugging it out over which ship is absolute best, just accept that all ships are garbage. Enjoy your garbage like the raccoon you are and continue on with your life.
Filthy trash panda.
yeah, and that honestly, it comes down to the fact that like your headcanon won't be the same as other people's headcanon. And so you have to explain to us why your headcanon exists, why the things are the way they are, like what actual chemistry you see with these characters. Like, if you can't do that, then there's no point of your ship.
Yep.
It's like, and that's something that authors do consistently, is that they introduce two characters, and then they have to prove why these two characters work well together, why they have chemistry. And that's exactly what you should be doing. Like, you can't expect everybody to be in the exact same mindset as you.
Yeah.
I mean...
Well, and let's actually take this back to I think it's our very first bad fanfic here on the channel, My Bad Boy Link.
It is indeed.
The meet cute moment, and I put heavy quotations around that, when Link is just all like, here, let me get you another shirt. Woo! Like, that is not chemistry. That is sexual assault right there. Chemistry is where, as you said before, Nate, like our first two rules, chemistry is key and all ships are garbage until proven otherwise, go hand in hand. If you're taking characters and putting them together who maybe they don't even have that much time together on screen or on the page or on the panel, wherever it is that you're looking at, if you don't see them often together but you still ship them, then you need to explain why you think that their personalities would go well together. Otherwise, it just sounds really far out there, and then people will treat it as being annoying.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And even in the case of like My Bad Boy Link, it's like Link and Zelda being a ship is pretty common. And so like there's a lot of people who see it that way, but in that specific story, there's nothing between the characters. There's no chemistry. Therefore, the ship, even though it's a ship that like a lot of people have, it doesn't make sense in that situation. It really doesn't.
Camille, actually, I want to quickly ask you in terms of this.
Yes.
The show Merlin, what was your big OTP out of that? Again, I forget.
Oh, my OTP, which was like never really canon, was Merlin and Morgana.
Yeah.
Because I really liked in the earlier seasons, it actually shows like some chemistry between them, and they have like similarities where they're both magic people, and I liked just the different dynamics between them. But I knew the entire time, one, she was destined to be evil, and like whatever, that's fine. But it's like it's okay to ship something and live in the reality that that's not going to be canon, but you can still ship it. But like, is it a garbage ship? Maybe, because it wasn't a very healthy one, but. Now I'm sad.
Sorry for making you sad, but I just recalled like a long conversation we had a long time ago about that. I was just like, that fits in.
Yeah.
Just
where it's like it was never canon, but I feel like the show did give them enough to go off of to where it could have been a plausible canon ship. Had things been different, it could have worked.
Mm-hmm.
I really think this all ties very closely into rule number 3.
I think they all tie closely into all the rules, honestly. And that's kind of the point of why we're doing this.
All right, rule number 3. Build up and payoff are directly related. And my gosh, yes. I really don't like it in any kind of story, whether it be fanfic or the canon of the story, when it's just all like, hey, here are two characters, now kiss. Mm-hmm. It's just you want to see once again why these two should be together. You want to see the moments that do bring them together, and that just makes that sweet moments just so much better. And yeah, I mean, I don't have too much more to say on that. I feel like this is pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah, yeah, and it's like the way I think of it is like. Okay, this isn't necessarily like a good analogy, but like bear with me here. But it's like
yes.
Like stretching a rubber band. The farther you stretch it, like the more it's gonna hurt when you like smack it on your friend. I don't know. That's not the analogy I was quite going for, but I think
yes, but people will definitely understand it.
Yeah, so it's the more you like build into this, the longer you kind of stretched out, the more satisfactory. That's not the word I'm looking for.
The better the sting.
Yeah, the better the sting, baby. Yeah, baby.
The better the end result.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The more cathartic it's gonna be when that actually happens, because you're like, oh yes, finally.
I mean, people actually
hit me harder. Yeah, daddy.
People actually have to care about these characters for them to care about the ship in the first place.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's part of that build up.
Yeah.
Oh damn! Oh, he's a big, thick boy. Here's a thought. Here's a thought that because I was reading the description along with Rule 3, and it says, I know you just want to get to the steamy wall slamming, but the more build up in a relationship, the better. Someone put they. Dumb idiot.
Nate.
That's me. I don't ever read what I write.
I did something. Hold on.
The riper the berry, the sweeter the juice.
My computer is having a full-on stroke.
Here, I got it.
You
Stop.
It.
I will fix this. There you go.
Anywho's, I yes to that point where it's in that regard where it's like, yeah, if you want better payoff for sexy fun times or physical things, you want to have a good build up. But to play the devil's advocate, a relationship is way more than that. And I feel like you can have build ups and payoffs to other things in regards to a relationship.
Agreed.
So yeah. So for example, it's like
that what you said kind of runs into a little bit with like Rule 6.
We'll get to that.
But
yeah,
we'll get to that. Or Rule 9, more specifically Rule 9. But we'll get
what were you
going
to say, Camille?
Oh, I was going to say, I think my computer's frozen. That's not what I was going to say. I was going to say, like, for example, it's like oftentimes with stories, you know, I do this in some of my own stories where it's like they don't get together towards the tail end. That's what your buildup is. A lot of times that's what you see, where it's like, oh, this whole time it's like, will they, won't they? Oh, baby, they finally did. That's usually like your typical buildup, but I think it's fun to explore other ways that you can have buildup, you know? So it's like in another story of mine, they actually get together within the first, within like the first 70 pages. You know what I mean? Where it's like, okay, well, because they're already physically intimate at this point, what other buildups do I have to have? What other, you know, tension is there? So I guess, you know, look outside the scope of like physical buildup, because you can still definitely have your characters, you know, we're not saying you have to wait until the last chapter in the last book. I'm not saying that at all. It's always like, pinpoint what that buildup is and work towards a payoff. And it doesn't always have to be a physical one.
Yeah. And actually, I want to quickly dive on it and say the same also goes for small payoffs leading up to like them getting together. Like if you have your heart set on your characters getting together at the end, give your audience some payoffs along the way. And a really great example of that is Bunny Girl Senpai.
Oh, hell yeah.
Where it's like the relationship between the two main characters, between Sakata and Mai, it has so many rewarding milestones along the way,
right.
because there's that moment where Sakata's like, I want you to say that you love me, and he's trying to get to that point, and it's really great watching how they get to that moment. And that's just a small step along the way to their relationship. There is no big bang at the end, but rather instead it is these smaller moments leading up to them really being boyfriend, girlfriend.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Rule 4.
So if you would like to find out what the fourth rule is and what all the other rules are after that and how they all tie together to make shipping a much better experience for you, whether you be a fan or an author, please go check out the whole episode. We go into great depth about what makes a ship something that is honestly enjoyable and moves the story forward, and what is it that makes a ship degrading to the story and to the characters, because there's all different kinds of ships, and we're not going to be here to say whether one particular ship or another is awful. That's on you guys. You guys are going to be the ones to hash that out, but there are definitely concrete rules to what makes a ship good for a story or what makes it detrimental. So please go check that out, especially if you are a writer, because there's a lot to say about writing romantic relationships. They are difficult, they are hard to execute well. Even we, especially we, as novice writers, tend to make lots of mistakes. This episode is dedicated to what we have learned through our own mistakes and watching what other people have done. If you would like to have more writing advice, please go check out our other episodes over at Camille's Harem, found on Podbean, iTunes, and Google Play. You can also check out more of our fantastic episodes here on YouTube. We would love to have you be with us on our adventure, and we'd also like to be part of your writing adventure. So please, feel free to reach out to us over at our subreddit. There we have tons of different discussions. We are open to all different kinds of talks about how you can write your story, how you can get out there. Is there a certain block that is preventing you from making progress? Talk it out with us. We would love to help you out. And with that being said, everyone, can't wait till next video, and tschüss.